these times in our life, we just need to hold space and be open and receiving and surrendering to what is coming up for us. Welcome to the Essence of True Self podcast, where we affirm I am the son of my creation. Here I focus on mindfulness, limiting belief, self-care, spirituality, and overall becoming your true self. I'm your host, Oriana, a book, tea, and self-development lover. I give you tips and tricks of what I learned on my self-development journey so you can apply to yours. If you're interested, keep listening. Hey, welcome back to the Essence of True Self podcast, and I'm your host, Oriana. And I hope your week, your day, your evening is going pretty well. If not, of course, I'm sending you love and light in this time. And then, if you want to work with me and learn from like coaching, mentorship, spiritual advice, readings, all that would be in the description below. And if you already like the vibe, give it a like, comment, and subscribe to push it out to like-minded individuals just like us. So, let's get into breathing and saying our affirmations. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now we're going to get into the affirmation. I am the son of my creation. I am the son of my creation. I am the son of my creation. I hope that brings you back into the present moment, ground you, be open and receptive to the messages I have for you today. And as you can tell by the title of this video, watch this if you're feeling lost in life. And I feel like everybody go through this phase in their life when they don't know where to turn to and not sure where to go next, and just feel lost overall about their life, who they are, what they're becoming, and all that good things, and going through the transitions of life and not knowing what's next on the other end. And I had recently went through this of just being very indecisive of what do I really want out of life, and just feeling lost. Like, it's the stuff that I wanted before in the beginning of the year is the same that I want right now? And the answer is yes. After doing some deep healing and reflecting and releasing, it really helped me bring more perspective back to my life and why I really started this, and returning back to your why. And that really helped me be more grounded and centered within myself, and returning back to my mindful practices to keep me centered and whole within myself. Because sometimes we get too caught up into the physical realm and not really realizing it's really affecting us in a way that doesn't align with our life decisions. Like lately, I just been watching a lot of story times and dramas and stuff like that, but that doesn't align with my life that I'm desiring to manifest, and doesn't align with my life right now, because I don't have no drama in my life right now. So why am I consuming so much toxicity? Why am I running? What am I running away from? And that really just set in stone, like, what am I running away from? And I didn't get an answer right then and there. I got it like a couple of days later, just thinking about, like, what am I really holding on to? What am I running from? What am I trying to go back to? A lot of times when we're in a lost state, we just in the in-between state of what's about to come on the other side. And being unsure what might happen on the other side. But the unsureness is a part of the journey. The unknown is a part of the journey. Because it feels like you're walking down this dark hallway and not knowing where you're going, but it's really leading you to where you're meant to be. And the universe, God, source is asking you to believe in them. And truly believe in yourself and trust yourself. And I feel like that's what I was going through, not really trusting myself, not really believing the manifestation I was asking for was going to come into fruition. But Little do I know it's coming. I feel it coming. But stopping from what I'm doing is not hurting anybody but myself. Stopping myself from being in alignment and going down the right path is hurting myself. It's not hurting anybody else. Nobody really cares if you stop doing it. But the only person who would know that you stopped doing it and stop caring is yourself. And then the guilt and the regret just take over you. At least it did for me. And don't allow that to happen to you. This lost time is asking you to be within yourself, your mind, your spirit. What is coming up in this time? What am I not trying to look at? What am I not trying to face? And get clear. Because stagnation is really just asking you to call back to yourself. Return to your faith. Return to trusting yourself and a higher power. And me, I had wrote down these 3 steps that helped me get out of a lost state, a in-between state, a transitional state, because right now I'm going through a big transition. You'll find out in the next couple of episodes what's really happening, and a big shift is happening in my life, and really trying to control everything that's happening. But right now, the universe is asking me to surrender and let them take the wheel, because things are shifting in my favor that I might not see in the physical realm, but I definitely feel it on the spiritual realm level. If that makes sense. If you know, you know. So, yeah, the 3 steps that I wrote down was, the first step is stillness. It's so ironic, right? You lost, but you have to be in stillness to realize, to get yourself unstuck, unstagnant from the situation you feel lost from. And when I always feel like, oh, I don't know where to turn, I always turn back to stillness. My mindful practices, probably the practices and routine that I'm doing right now, is not really serving me the way I need it to serve me. And picking up a new way of being mindfulness. Like, I normally wake up, journal, and do some breath work, meditation, and saying affirmation from a video. But this time around, I really just needed to really be with myself. So I just kept it simple as possible. Still waking up and writing and journaling and even doing voice memos at this point, because when you feeling stuck, you don't want to overcomplicate things. You don't want to overthink things. And if you're feeling overthinking at the moment, it's time to dump everything out via voice memo or journaling, and releasing that energy that you feel stuck in, and continue to do it until the flow started to come. Because at first I was feeling very lost about, like, I don't know, I feel stuck. I'm writing this down. I feel stuck. I don't know what is really happening at this moment, but I want to capture this moment to release what's really coming up in this moment. And even some part of me don't want to even face what's coming up. And for me, it's me trying to return back to my old self. And it just feels so uncomfortable, because I know something else is happening in my new life. This new change is happening for me. But this uncomfortability makes me want to go back. But don't go back. Don't shift back to the life that you're trying to come from, trying to move on from, trying to leave behind. It's kind of contradicting your manifestation you're trying to bring into fruition. And me relearning it and just constantly documenting how I feel through this process of stuckness and feeling lost and stagnant in this journey is returning to stillness, writing, meditating. Instead of just regular breath work and meditation, I tried like this mala meditation. It's like beads, and you just meditate with them and saying mantras and chanting and different things like that. But if you really want to look that up on Google, TikTok, all them other platforms to figure out what is mala meditation. It might help you as well, to help you bring more groundedness. But find out what stillness practice, mindful practice that you need to do to come back into yourself. Because we always feel like we need to know everything when it's happening as it's happening. And me, as a control freak, spirit is like, no ma'am. It's time to slow down, chill, and return to self. Return to your why. Reflect on what is really going on. What is really going on? You know what I'm saying? What is really going on? And just releasing those beliefs. So step number 2, hold space for yourself to feel whatever. Hold space for yourself to feel whatever. And let's go back to like journaling, voice memos, and just letting it all out. Pretty much writing down any and everything that just come to your mind. You cannot allow the things that stop you in this moment to constantly keep affecting you if you don't dump it out. Release it, speak about it, talk about it, write it out. Do physical activities to move through those feelings. Allow yourself to feel, because when we in this lost state, we're not holding space for ourselves. We trying to hold space for what's not really happening in this moment. We hold space for too much of the physical realm and not holding space for ourselves and how we truly feel, how we trying to show up for ourselves. Because we can't really show up for the manifestation of new life if we're not really showing up mentally, spiritually, physically for ourselves. So how do you really feel? How are you really stopping yourself from growing? What is happening in this moment that's making you feel so uncomfortable? What have triggered this to even happen in the first place? And then a lot of times we don't even have a plan. We trying to shift our life, but we don't even have a plan, an idea, a structure, a way of doing it to bring it into fruition, to keep ourselves into alignment. But when we have a plan, when we dumb down the feelings of the process of we going through, this when clarity and space start to open up for yourself. And that's what leads to number 3. Step number 3 is surrendering. Surrendering to what is in this moment. Stop trying to control everything. God is asking you to release the reins. Let him, let her, let it take the reins. It's time to be in your flow and receiving energy. Because the clarity might come in magical ways from somebody talking. You might hear from a YouTube video or something. Might get clarity from this video. Who knows? Whatever you're consuming, if it's not adding to your life, it's subtracting from your life. Does the people you consume, do you want your life to look like that? These are the questions to constantly ask yourself. Because me getting caught up into worrying about what's going on outside of me, everybody else's drama, and overthinking about what's not happening. But surrendering is just trusting and believing and letting go. Because right now, surrendering is key for you to be unstuck. According to the other 2 methods, I said mindfulness, stillness, and holding space for yourself. These times in our life, we just need to hold space and be open and receiving and surrendering to what is coming up for us. Because the main reason we are stuck, because we are resisting the change. We are resisting what is coming up for us. We are resisting the uncomfortability. But the change have to require uncomfortability before you become comfortable again. And once you become comfortable again, uncomfortability will happen again. If you continue to willing to change and evolve and transform into the best version of yourself. Because once you're on this healing, spiritual, self-development journey, it never stops. But don't overdo it. Give yourself room to grow. Give yourself room to feel what's coming up. Give yourself room to just let things just be. Because you deserve to be free. I know that sounds like a whole commercial content thing. But no, for real. For real. But yeah. Me learning this, being unstuck situation and feeling lost is really re-evaluating what am I putting on the pedestal right now. What am I really holding on to right now? What am I holding so tightly to my chest that needs to be released in this time? And once you understand what is really happening within and become more clear outside of you. Because I always say the only thing you can control is yourself. You can't control what other people are doing. Your peace of mind, your clarity, your understanding come first. It's time to really just release control and open to what is in this moment. loss, stagnancy is asking you to release and stop resisting the change. But yeah, I hope this video helps somebody. But I'm going to go over the steps one more time. And if you have any other steps that you might know is a better way to get unstuck, leave a comment. Leave some comments, to help other people, like-minded individuals like us, to evolve and grow to be the best version of ourselves. Okay, step number 1 is stillness. Step number 2 is holding space for whatever comes up. And step number 3 is surrendering. And I hope this helps somebody. If this did help you, just like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with somebody who might need to hear this. And then all my social media is below if you want to follow me there, because I do post different things on different platforms. So always check that out. And you will gain probably more insight. So yeah, I love you guys. I'm grateful you here. And continue to show up as your best self. Continue to be your truest self, your authentic self, because you deserve to be. Until next time, family.